Today is September 16, 2025, and it is 6:02 p.m. This is an 8-member board appointed by the City of South Fulton's Mayor and City Council to hold public hearings, to make recommendations on rezoning, use permits, concurrent variance applications, comprehensive land use plans, maps, and amendments to the zoning resolution. The applicants or proponents of each case will be allowed a total of 10 minutes to present their case. Since the burden of proof is upon the applicants to convince the board that the applicant should be approved, they may choose to reserve some of that time for rebuttal. Following the proponent's presentation, any individuals in opposition will have a total of 10 minutes to present their position. If multiple people will speak in opposition, you should organize yourselves to allow everyone to speak in the 10-minute time frame. Opposition is not permitted rebuttal time. If you wish to address the commission on a case, you must fill out a comment card and indicate whether you're a proponent or an opponent of a case. If you are not sure whether you are not a proponent or an opponent, you must fill out an opponent comment card. The commission will take 2 votes on each application. The first vote is on the findings of fact as presented by the staff. The second vote is for approval, denial, or deferral of the application. It is the second vote that determines the board's recommendations to the City Council. These same matters will be heard at the next City Council meeting on October 14th, and then, when is the next City Council meeting that these items will be heard? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. October 14th? Council meeting? Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. These same items will be heard by City Council at a public hearing on October 14th at City Hall. Please refrain from any verbal outbursts during the public hearing, and please only address the commission during the designated public comment time. We will proceed with the agenda. Staff, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Smith-Vickers.
Here.
Commissioner Perry.
Present.
Commissioner Reverend Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Jefferson.
Present.
Commissioner Williams. Present. Commissioner Devon.
Present.
Commissioner Price.
Present.
Commissioner McGeehan. We have quorum.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, you've had a chance to review tonight's agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Devon.
Aye.
Commissioner Price.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So the agenda is approved. Next, we'll move on to the minutes from the last Planning Commission meeting. Are there any corrections or edits? If not, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson.
Aye.
Commissioner Devon.
Aye.
Commissioner Price.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you. Okay, so we will now move on to our old business. The first case is Z25-025. Staff, can you present the staff report?
Alrighty, we have, the address is 2370 Butner Road. It looks like the applicant, Diamond Distributors, requesting a rezone from C1, Limited Commercial District, in the old National Highway overlay to C1, Limited Commercial. Also the old National Highway, to remove the current conditions to develop a multi-sports recreation complex.
Thank you so much. Is the applicant present? Hi, how are you? Good. If you can state your first and last name and address for the record.
My name is Shatori Phillips with 2370 Burdett Road in College Park, Georgia.
Tyrell McCray, 2370 Burdett, Georgia.
Okay, and we're here today regarding our meeting from last time. So there was a few challenges that we've already rectified. Regarding the site plan, we've already resubmitted it for review. We corrected the landscape islands, the landscaping strips, and parking spots, and resubmitted that over. We've also resubmitted, we understand regarding the encroachments and setbacks that we're off a little bit. We've sent in an application for the variances for that. And regarding the parking, we do understand that the project requires 453 parking spaces, and our project has 194 spaces provided, in which this is a recreational center, so it's not like a stadium or anything. We don't foresee us using all of 194 spaces, being that we've done our research with other recreational facilities that don't use that amount of parking spaces on a daily basis, and their establishments is about the same size as ours. However, majority of the day-to-day is practices for people needing to come in and practice their basketballs. We have senior activities and after-school programs that, go on throughout the day, so we don't foresee that being that many people on the site itself. We will have some tournaments on the facilities 6 weekends out of the year. So in order to meet the requirements of the 453 parking spaces, we do have a partnership with World Changers Church, where the parking lot that they are giving us is over 1,000 spaces right across the street. We do understand that people will have to cross the busy intersection, in which we've already put in our parking letter that we will do whatever we need to do as far as painting or putting up any additional signs for the crosswalk. We've already reached out to the City of South Fulton Police Department and Traffic Department regarding on our busy tournament days, 6 weekends out of the year, to be able to come in and direct traffic for us. We've already have plans and put that in the letter in writing to have 2 shuttle buses to be able to transport people from and to the overflow parking to our facility. We've already put in writing as well that no child will be dropped off in an overflow parking facility, but only on site. And we'll have people out there directing and telling people where to go. But outside of that, we feel that we will keep everything safe and sound to be able to get people from the overflow parking to our parking the 6 weekends out of the year.
Thank you. So it looks like we had the public hearing last time for this. So it looks like we'll just be taking a vote on this today. But commissioners, did you all have any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Devine, I recognize you.
Good evening, welcome back.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, and I could have missed this information, do you plan to have an after-school program there?
Yes,
Okay.
and summer camps.
And summer camps. Okay, thank you.
Staff, is the new paperwork that they submitted, is it in this binder? The stuff they recently submitted?
So, I don't believe the new stuff probably was added to the binder, but we may have to check and see as well.
Madam Chair. Does staff recommendation still reflect the old, or does it reflect the new information?
So I think staff, it would be beneficial if we could get the new information, because I don't know if we would be making a good decision by, not taking the stuff that they presented and that they're referring to into account. So I don't know if we can get it printed if it's available. And did staff's recommendation, I know you guys have the denial in here from the original staff report, I believe, but after they submitted the new stuff, is there an update to the recommendation of approval, denial, or deferral from staff?
I defer to Mr. McClendon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie McClendon, Managing Director of Community Development and Regulatory Affairs. Staff's recommendation has not changed. It is still denial. The new information that was presented, I don't believe made it into your binders. I thought when we reviewed it, our senior planner who reviewed that did not see any change in what had previously been presented, but that might have been an electronic issue. But even with the new information, staff's recommendation would remain denial.
Thank you, Reggie. Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
So just to confirm, the staff did receive the documents that the applicant is saying that they resubmitted. So the documents were received, it's just not part of our package.
I believe the documents were received. The issue is that I think variances would be required in order to honor the information on that document. And based on our process, because those variances had not been requested along with the application, we wouldn't be able to process those. We would have to kind of go back to the beginning and advertise those variance requests along with the rezoning application in order to be in compliance with the zoning procedures law. So I think the posture that we're in currently is that the applicant has to decide if they want to move forward with where we are, start over, or the third option would be is that they could seek their approval now and request those variances from the Zoning Board of Appeals on the after their case is approved by council, if it's approved.
So,
Commissioner Devine, I recognize you.
Oh. If variance is an issue, is something that was communicated to the applicant prior to or after their second submission of information?
Prior to.
So, in submitting a second package, the variances were not included again.
I think the variances were requested.
And they were not included. Okay,
If I'm
All right.
understanding your question correctly. Yes.
all right, thank you.
Chair, may I also be recognized? That was me.
Yes, ma'am.
So it looks like they did submit a application for their variance, so they submitted that on the 12th of September for a variance for this.
Okay, got it. And Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
I think she was.
Commissioner Price, I recognize you.
The last time they were here, I believe the commissioners wanted to defer this case because we listened to, their representation, and it would be nice if we had the updated information. And I believe it was conditions, and we need to know if those conditions on top of the variance were met.
Reggie, so I know they just did the variance application, would it be possible for them to bring the variance application, say we would defer it, right, again, would we be able to hear both of those maybe at another PC meeting?
We would have to process those variance applications and consider them to be a concurrent variance along with this rezoning request, which would then place us in a position where we would have to defer it out for a few months because we would have to go through the advertising phase.
Okay.
Question.
Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
I have a question for the applicants. And so, I know you guys just heard the discussions, right? And so, laid out by Director McClendon, you can basically keep going, and we can make a recommendation. And if you were approved by City Council, you would still have to go through the process again for the variances afterwards, after the fact. Or we can kind of, I know you put the application for the variances in last week, but so you can stop the process and all your paperwork seems to be together now, but you got to go through the advertising and holding the community hearings again. And just like Director McClendon said, it'll be add some months onto your process, but you can do everything all at once and bring it before the commission, and then go in front of the City Council as one package. So my question to you is, how would you like to proceed?
Wouldn't it be easier for us, since we're already here for the zoning portion of it, or almost done with it, to get the approval for the zoning and then do the amendment to get the variances added?
It's up to you, whatever you think is easier, because you're going to have to go, for the variances, you're going to go through the same exact process for the variances. So you can get the zoning, but you got to come back. You won't be able to do what you want to do until you have the variances. So you can do zoning now and then go through the process for the variances. You can just try to do them all in one swoop. And that's why I'm asking you guys, because the last time we were here, I think you guys did what you said you were going to do. You formalized the things we were asking for and resubmitted it. So to me, I think it should be your option on how you want to proceed. I know it's not optimal in what you're looking for, but it would help me to know how would you want to go forward.
So my concern is, the last time we was here, and this is not the first time this has happened, because we've been working on this since September of last year. Okay, and it's always something different, or a trap door, or, third application. I guess my question would be, how do we get past, the issues at hand? Because what was asked of us last time we was here was, hey, get this, we hear what you're saying. We like the idea, get these things, taken care of. So we go out, we get with everyone, architects and everyone, we get it taken care of, and now here we are again, back at square one again. So I'm not sure, is it going to be a revolving door? Because if we already here, I would like to get at least something done, because we've been working on this for a year now, since my very first meeting with City of South Fulton Planning, and we haven't gotten any further. There's always something else, and Tory is always on it. We're meeting with people, we're there, so we just want to know, how can we make this happen? And maybe a little guidance, I'm not saying from you guys, but it's like we haven't had any help at all with trying to figure this thing out.
Can I have the floor just?
Go ahead, Commissioner Perry.
I want to ask staff, can staff give some recommendations on how best for them to proceed?
I can certainly give a recommendation, and I just want to be clear. They can move forward with this process as they are in it now. So if you all want to give a recommendation tonight, it will move forward to City Council. Staff's recommendation is denial. We're not trying to stand in the way of their project moving forward through the process, but that is our recommendation. And we certainly respect if the Planning Commission wants to make your recommendation, move it forward to City Council, and they can make their decision. And my recommendation would be to do that.
Thank you. Did you want to say something else, sir?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
go ahead.
So I would like to, as you said, move it to the City Council, just go that way.
Okay, thank you so much. You can take a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you. So commissioners, we had the public hearing, we heard from the applicants, and now we need to take a vote to approve, deny, or defer. Well, we're gonna get there. I just was talking to y'all about what we gotta do right now. I do actually have one more question for the applicant before we move on. My only concern, and I'm also talking to commissioners as well, is that I hear that they updated their plan and stuff. So I kind of have a problem with not being able to see that, because I was one of the ones that said, hey, we need to see the parking lot and the landscape. The stuff that we asked for, we don't have it in front of us, so it's kind of hard. Of course, I don't vote right now unless there was a tie, but I don't know if you guys could even make a good decision off of that. So I just want you to keep that in mind for this project. But again, we're just a recommended body, and it has to go to council. So just keep that in mind. But I do think it would be appropriate for us to get those documents as well, even though the applicant does want to move forward tonight. So since we don't have the new plan, did you guys get the parking out, the landscape strip, and all that stuff?
Everything that was on the list got done.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why it's not in the packet.
But you just still haven't figured out the parking,
The parking, we figured it out as well.
but you don't have the amount of spaces needed on the actual location, right?
Correct.
But you still,
But they asked for the dates that we needed, so they'll know. And then I think the gentleman asked for, because we was talking about using the sheriffs and things like that, but it wasn't in the paperwork.
okay.
So then we went out, did our due diligence, talked with the sheriffs, and then got everything together and gave the dates which we would need it, and our, the safety plan, everything that was in there, we did. The safety plan for the travel from the parking lot across the street over to it, the vans, the City of South Fulton Police Department.
And how many square feet will the building be?
Like 90,000 square feet.
Okay. So I'm a little bit concerned. Is there no way you can amend the site plan to meet the parking requirements? Like, what is the deal with the parking? Because I know you're supposed to have 453 spaces, and right now you only have 190 something. So what is exactly the deal with that?
Okay, rephrase the question.
Sure. I'm just trying to understand why you guys can't meet the parking requirement. Like, your building is 90,000 square feet, right? So that means you have that's a lot of land to put that building on. I'm just curious to know why you can't meet the 453 space requirement, because for a 90,000 square feet building, 194 spaces, whew, that's not a lot.
So when we first came into it, again, I'm a former City of Atlanta employee who worked at rec centers. Looking at the codes for community centers and rec centers, it didn't say that we needed it. It's different formulas you can use, your seating and things like that. So again, from 9 to 8, it'll be our working hours. The majority of the day, everyone is at work or the kids are at school. So when we was talking with our builders and everyone, and just thinking about it, looking at other rec centers our size, or even some that's bigger, like CT Martin and things like that, that don't have that many, and they never use those spaces are never used because you're not having traffic in there like that. So, what was, my thought was, or my question to Tori, and I know she reached out, was why we have 458 spots. That's almost like a Walmart or a Home Depot parking lot. No, I don't know of any other, rec center or community center that need that many spaces, because we're not going to be using that on a day-to-day, basis. I'm not sure where the calculation's coming in. And even when we look on the City of South Fulton chart, it doesn't, it says different things about seating or open spaces and things like that. So we meet some, but then we don't meet others.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Y'all can take a seat. Thank you. Okay, commissioners. So now we can go ahead and take our first vote which is going to be on the findings of fact as presented by staff. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Point of order, what's the motion?
This is staff findings of fact.
But what are we, is the motion to approve or?
This is to approve or deny staff findings of fact.
I know
Did
which one is it?
I make a motion to approve.
Oh,
staff's
I got you.
findings.
You're saying that no, when they did the motion. Got it. Okay, I got you. Thanks, Commissioner Perry. That was a good call. Okay. Okay. You can go ahead and call the roll.
Commissioner Perry,
Nay.
Commissioner Reverend Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson,
Aye.
Commissioner Devon,
Aye.
Commissioner Price. Commissioner Williams.
Nay.
The nays have it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So did it? Okay.
One second, please.
Can you just please recall the
Chair,
roll?
thank you. I'm going to recall it. Commissioner Perry,
Nay.
Commissioner Reverend Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Nay.
Commissioner Devon,
Aye.
Commissioner Price.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to take our second vote, which is going to be to approve, deny, or defer the application. Can I get a motion for action on the application?
I move that we approve Z25-025.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Staff, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry,
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Devon,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Price.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Commissioner Jefferson.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Okay, thank you so much. So the motion carries, and the recommendation will now move forward to the City Council meeting for final consideration at the October 14th council meeting, and it will be at City Hall. Thank you. Okay, so we will move on to our next case, which is Z25-027. Staff, can you please present the staff report?
Alrighty, the next case we have is Z25-027. The address is 2860 Butner Road. PNC Custom Homes Incorporated is requesting a rezone for AG1 to R4 in the Sandtown Overlay District to subdivide the property into 3 lots to develop 3 homes on 1.99 acres. Staff recommendation is denial.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for this, and I'm assuming that you all are the applicant. Can you go ahead and please state your first and last name for the record and your address?
Okay. Jeff Daniels, 2507 Brittany Park Lane, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294.
Ali Bakar, 163 Haygood Avenue, Southeast Atlanta.
Yolanda Wilkes, 502 Shadow Valley Court, Lithonia, Georgia, 30058.
Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Adriana, just for clarity, you did just read the staff report for Z25-027, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Staff recommendation was denial.
We're going fast tonight. I know, we're going a little quicker. It's all right, you're good. Okay, sorry about that. Please go ahead.
Okay, so we have here, we're trying to get rezoned from AG1 to R4. We want to subdivide into 3 lots, build 3 homes right on Butner Road. So the homes will be anywhere starting from 3,500 square feet and surrounded in the residential area, and we feel that it'll be a great improvement to the neighborhood. So like I said, it's currently zoned AG1, but our proposal is to subdivide into 3 parcels and build 3 custom homes. And so we're here to answer any questions you may have. The general contractor is here, and his team is here.
Thank you so much. So you can take a seat. Thank you. You don't have a presentation for us or anything?
No, we don't
Okay.
have a presentation.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. Adriana, are there any cards?
We only had 2 cards for. It looks like we have 3 applicants that spoke, so one of them just need to fill out a comment cards, but no cards against.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, it looks like we can go ahead and close the public hearing since there are no cards. Commissioners, I'll give you a second to just take another peek here, and if you all have any questions, please let me know. Don't we need to ask the applicant? Oh, okay. If the applicant can come back to the stand, commissioners have a few questions. Okay, Commissioner Jefferson, I recognize you.
Yeah, I just have one question. Based on the 3,500 square feet homes, 3 homes, what is the price point?
We're going to be roughly around the low 600s.
Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
Question for staff. What's the difference between R4 zoning that they're asking for and the R4?
Speaking into that mic, Commissioner Perry. Speaking to that mic a little more. You're okay.
What is the difference between the R4 zoning that they're asking for and the R4A zoning that is supported?
Bigger size homes.
What is the size homes in R4A?
So give us 1 second to pull it up on the code.
All right, thank you.
All right, so the difference between R4 and R4A is the lot area. For R4, the minimum lot area is 9,000 square feet, and they can have a heated floor area minimum of 1,000 square feet on a ground story home. And if it's 2 stories of above, they can have 1,100 square feet with 800 of it on the ground floor. For R4A, it has a minimum lot area of 12,000 square feet, and that, if it's a ground story home, has to be 1,200 square feet on the ground floor. And it's 1,320 square feet for a 2-story above home.
So my question for the applicant is, why can't you, it looks like you would meet the requirements of R4A. Why not request R4A and be in compliance with the proper designation for that?
So what's the requirement for R4A? What's the size for R4A?
What's the size for R4A?
Can you repeat R4A again for?
So for R4A, it is a minimum lot area of 12,000 square feet and a minimum heated floor area of 1,200 square feet for a ground story home.
That's just one floor. We got basement lots, so your basement, you got to count the basement square foot. She just counting 1 floor. You got 3 levels, so you can't, how can you build a house with 1,200 square feet? No matter whole house, there's no house 1,200 square feet.
So you're saying per level, starting from the basement floor to the third floor, or to the second floor?
For if it's a 2-story or above home, it is 1,320 square feet, and 900 of that has to be on the ground floor.
We can meet that requirement.
So
That's the minimum.
So that's why I'm asking, because right now your application is technically deficient, right? It doesn't meet the zoning code, but what you're proposing would meet the proper zoning.
For R4A.
Right. R4A is supported by the Suburban Neighborhood 1, which is for the future land use map.
So as long as we go above that, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it would plead the right zoning for the.
Okay. So what do we need to do to convert to R4A?
I would probably, you would have to get with staff, probably recommend maybe deferring it to allow you guys to work with staff to get the correct zoning on your application.
So it looks like from the staff report, it looks like, what is it, C25? It looks like staff put in their staff report that they've already requested you guys to amend your current application. So have you talked with them about that? Because that's what's in it says it in here. It says that they requested you guys to amend your application to support the zoning within the suburban neighborhood character. So, okay. So it sounds like Commissioner Perry said, get with staff so that you can figure out what you need to do to make this work in the designated zoning area that it needs to be in. Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
I just want to make one more point. So if we do defer it and you work with staff and you submit to make the changes, we won't have another public hearing. So I just recommend that staff make sure that any new paperwork is part of the packet for the future meeting, if it is deferred and they come back, so that we have everything present.
Thank you, Reggie McClendon, Managing Director. If they choose to amend their application, like we talked about before, they would have to go back through the process basically from the beginning. They're asking for a different zoning designation, again, in order to comply with the zoning procedures law, which is a requirement of the state of Georgia. We would have to basically go in and start from the beginning. I haven't been intimately involved in this one, but it sounds like from what we put in our staff report, we've already had these conversations. We do have these conversations. I know it doesn't sound like it when people get up here and speak to y'all and tell y'all things, but I promise you it's happening. And so in response to what you just said, we're not going to add any paperwork unless we kind of start from the beginning and everything changes.
Thank you so much. And it does say that, Commissioners, in a staff report, it says that they'll have to resend out notices and all that stuff. So, yeah, so it looks like, staff, can you confirm if this was an applicant deferral last time or if it was a staff request?
This was a deferral by the applicant for the public participation.
Okay. I think staff would have to even initiate that deferral because the applicant's already used one deferral. Is staff even, no? Okay, so staff is not entertaining a deferral. Okay, so it looks like we will have to vote on this tonight. You can take a seat, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, so if there's no other questions, Commissioners, we're good? No other questions? Okay. I will now close the public hearing for this case, and we're going to take our first vote, which is going to be on the findings of fact as presented by staff. Can I get a motion for approval of denial or staff findings of fact?
Madam Chair?
Yes, I recognize you, Commissioner Jones.
Why won't staff entertain a deferral?
Staff, can you speak to that, please?
Yes, because we already had the conversation with the applicant and advised them on the changes that they could possibly make and give them the options, and they decided to continue to proceed.
Thank you so much. You good? No problem. Okay, so we'll now take our first vote, which is on the findings of fact as presented by staff. Can I get a motion for approval of denial of staff's findings of fact?
I move that we approve staff findings of fact.
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
Thank you so much. The motion carries. We'll now take our second vote, which is going to be to approve or deny the application. Can I get a motion for action on the application?
I move to deny Z 25-027 due to them not following through with staff recommendation.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Nay.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Nay.
Commissioner Williams?
Nay.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
It looks like we might have a tie. Commissioner Smith-Vickers?
Nay.
The nays have it.
Thank you so much. So this recommendation will move forward to the October 14th City Council.
You got to make a recommendation. That didn't pass.
It did pass. The chair had to break the tie.
Right, so that means her recommendation was to deny, and your nay means that motion didn't pass. So we don't have a recommendation yet.
Commissioner Perry is correct.
Reggie, can you clarify that? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we're not confused here.
The motion was to recommend approval, and that motion
Oh,
failed.
good catch. Okay, got it. Thank you, Commissioner Perry. Commissioner Perry, you on it tonight. You did. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, that is a comeback. Okay. Okay, so we will move on to the next case, since we don't technically have a, yes, ma'am. I mean, we don't have to, I don't think, though, right?
That will be
'Cause,
up
I mean,
to
it-
the body to
yeah.
decide if they want to entertain another motion or move to the next case.
Yeah, because it automatically moves to council anyways, so it's not like, it was basically a split decision. You guys want to entertain another motion? It was denied though, yeah. The reason I say I don't think we should do another motion is because the vote is the vote. Like, we've already voted once. So I don't see you guys changing your vote, right? Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to do it like that. Okay, I mean, if we can do it like that and reverse it, okay, let's do it. Okay, can I get a motion for approval or denial of Z25-027?
I make a motion that we approve Z 25-027.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Nay.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
So I know it just confused. We're doing the vote right now for approval of it. You're approving it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
On the other side of this. I think I'm approving it. No, I'm approving it, yes.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Nay.
The ayes have it.
Okay. So that was an approval, right? Cool.
That is
okay.
correct.
Okay, so that recommendation of approval will move forward to the October 14th City Council meeting. And we are moving on to new business now. And that is going to be the public hearing for the comprehensive plan update. And is someone presenting for that? Oh, go ahead. If you can just please state your name and the company you're from. Can you turn the mic on?
There we go.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commission. I'm Deanna Murphy. I'm with Sizemore Group. We're an architecture, planning, and interiors firm in Atlanta. And we're very excited to be at this point in the comprehensive plan to be able to share with you all where we're at. Tonight, we'll be asking for your approval to, recommended approval to go to the mayor and council on October 14th. In order for us to send this draft plan to the Department of Community Affairs. So our process is that we have completed a draft of the overall comprehensive plan. It will go to DCA, the Department of Community Affairs, for their review over about a month-long process. That will come back to us. We'll make any edits. And then we'll go through a final formal adoption public hearing. So this is really just asking you to please give us the approval to send that on to DCA, that you're happy with where it's at, in order for DCA to start their approval process. So I'll start. I have a brief presentation starting with our overall project team. We've been very fortunate to work closely with your community development department as well as your assistant city manager, Ms. Davis. And I know Reggie and Ms. Davis are here tonight as well as Matthew, and we've been very fortunate to work with them. In addition to Sizemore Group, we have two other key players. We have Kimley Horn, who is a transportation consultant who's been working on this project as well as doing economic development assessments, and then Sycamore Consulting, who has been leading our community outreach efforts. So tonight what I want to go over is our project schedule, what the overall project is in the comprehensive plan process, where we're at in that process. I'll give you a brief overview of our community engagement efforts, and then talk to you about what we're recommending in terms of the vision statement and the overall changes and recommendations within the plan. So our overall schedule, let me just be taking a minute, is roughly a year-long process. We started this last January and spent the first half of this year really doing assessments of your transportation, your land use, economic development, arts and culture, really just looking at what is it that makes up the city of South Fulton and where are some of the pinch points and issues that we want to address. Also understanding what had been accomplished from the previous comprehensive plan. So we did look at what's been done, what we want to keep moving forward, and where we can add in terms of scope of recommendations for that work program on what we want to be completed. You can see most of our community engagement is those red stars on this overall schedule. That's all really happened over the past 6 to 7 months. We've done a lot of outreach and engagement, and I'll talk about that in a moment, to really make sure that we understand what the challenges are that we need to address in the plan. We're now in September. We are at the point where we, as I mentioned, are looking to send this to the Department of Community Affairs for their review. Once they have given us their thumbs up or any edits they want us to make, we'll come back through a formal adoption public hearing process. And we're looking at doing that in November with the Planning Commission and then December with Mayor and Council. So a comprehensive plan, essentially this is our growth guideline for the city. We want to make sure that this looks out 20 years. What is it that we want the community to become? How do we want it to develop? And how can we get there? It gets updated. It's required by the Department of Community Affairs to be updated every 5 years. So we're actually a little early. The city obviously incorporated and then kind of adopted a comprehensive plan that came from Fulton County, which really wasn't serving the needs. So there was a comprehensive plan done in 2021 with help from the Atlanta Regional Commission. It was a kind of a quick button-up job to make sure that you had something that was specific to the city. So this was really our opportunity and the city's opportunity to look at what we really want the city to be and to accomplish in 5 years. So while you're not due actually to the DCA until next year, the city was proactive in making sure we had this vision and guidelines set to go forward. These are the major components of our comprehensive plan. Everything from making sure that we have a vision and goals and we're understanding the needs and opportunities of the community, to very specifics like understanding broadband needs, capital improvement opportunities, economic development, land use, transportation, and housing. We have highlighted the community work program. That's one of the key elements that comes out of this plan because it gives us a 5-year next step priority projects. And so we have developed a community work program by department, and it gives each department those next steps of what they should be doing and working on over the next 5 years to accomplish our overall vision and goals. And as mentioned, this is that 20-year vision, and so we're looking at making sure we give the roadmap to move forward with that. We did not start from scratch. As I mentioned, we looked at the 2021 comprehensive plan, but we also looked at all the initiatives that have been going on in the city over the past 5 years. So you can see a list of some of those here. Our overall engagement strategy included quite a bit. So starting with our stakeholder roundtables, we had interviews and roundtables with specific stakeholder groups at the beginning of the process to understand what needs and opportunities there were. We had a steering committee that we met with before every opportunity to meet with the community that really helped guide this overall process. And then we met with the community 7 times, and we wanted to make sure we were hitting all the districts throughout this so that we gave everyone an opportunity to engage. And then we broke that into 3 phases. Our first phase, we talked about the overall process. Our second phase was more hands-on, talking about the future land use map. And then our third phase was really an open house to show everything that we're recommending to date. We also had 3 pop-ups, which was another opportunity to get to people who might not be able to come to those meetings in the evenings. So we went to different events around the city to make sure we could get some feedback. And then we had an interactive website where there were interactive maps and exercises and surveys to get even more input. The main things that we heard from the community really were centered around livability. Wanting more mixed-use opportunities, higher quality retail and restaurants, more walkability and transportation options, increased access to parks and rec, a lot of love for the parks and recreation facilities here in the city, and wanting to see that grow and continue to provide more opportunities. There was an opposition overall to industrial growth and making sure that kind of remains in the areas that it is. A strong interest in preservation of that overall kind of agricultural and rural character of the city. Support for housing growth, specifically looking at opportunities for missing middle, opportunities to age in place, and provide a variety of income levels for housing. Desires for more healthy living. Opportunities to be able to walk to the stores you want to go to, opportunities to have the amenities and access to fresh foods throughout the city. And then a desire for a community identity, a link to economic development, and more visibility in terms of civic services. So from all that input, we developed a vision statement, which I'll read out loud. It's the City of South Fulton envisions a safe, inclusive, and forward-thinking community that champions sustainability, economic growth, and holistic well-being for all. Through improved access to healthcare, walkable neighborhoods, healthy foods, abundant recreational and gathering spaces, and economic opportunities, the city aims to support the physical and mental health of its residents. By promoting vibrant mixed-use developments with family-friendly amenities, South Fulton is committed to keeping resources and spending within the community, building a healthier, more connected, and prosperous future for all. In addition to the community input that we received, a big driver of this vision statement, our overall goals, had to do with the blue zones. And the blue zone is a theory that there are certain areas called blue zones throughout the world that there are more centurions, a more higher ratio of centurions, so those who live to 100 years old. And so there has been research and studies done on why that is, and that's what this graph here shows. And I'll just kind of point out a couple of those. One is walkability, being able to leisurely walk to things that you want to do. It has to do with access to food, healthy foods, plant-based foods, as well as opportunities to decompress and alleviate stress. We really picked up on the blue zone because of facts and research that we had heard about the disparity between North Fulton and South Fulton. There is a 5-year life expectancy age gap between the north and south parts of Fulton County. And so we saw this as an opportunity to say, how do we put these actions in place to allow for this community to have the opportunity to have that longer life expectancy? And so that really started to become a key component of our comprehensive plan, and you'll see it woven throughout the entire plan. So the plan itself, the major changes that we made is overall, because this is a new document, we redesigned it, trying to make it more readable and usable. We updated that overall vision statement and the associated goals. We added 2 new goals based on information that we received and input we received, including better communication to the community and infrastructure and facilities. We looked at including policies with each of our goal elements, which hadn't been done in the previous plan. We did a parcel by parcel update to the future land use map. We added a character area map that allows us to be specific about the types of economic opportunities we want in certain areas throughout the city. And we updated our community work program and divided that up by department to make it a little easier to use. For the future land use map, that was a big part of this process that hopefully gives you all a tool when you are looking at rezonings. You can look at the future land use map to see if it fits within the overall vision. Some of the main things we did on that is we combined agricultural and rural into one category so that that could really be more about agricultural uses, homesteads. We believe agriculture was used prior for more preservation purposes, so we actually created a preservation and conservation category separately so that we could put parks and ecological areas into that. We looked at clustering mixed-use development, specifically at major intersections and nodes. We looked at any recent rezonings and amendments that have been done over the past 5 years and made sure those were reflected in the future land use map. We looked at balancing residential densities across the city. And then we added a new category called industrial mixed use. And that category is for areas that might be near single family, areas that might not be heavy industrial, but we want to see some mix of uses in there, but not lose the economic value of the industrial users. And then lastly, we did look at some density updates. And I'll point those out on this next slide. I know this is a lot of information for one slide. But what I want to point out is under our live work categories, or kind of our mixed use categories, we did add apartments and townhomes to them. The prior comprehensive plan did not have townhomes or apartments in any of the categories. So we thought those were the appropriate places for that. And then in order to allow for those to happen, we did up some of the densities. So for village live work, the density was up to 6 units per acre. We have now given it a range of 9 to 15 units per acre, which is more in line with a typical townhome product. For the community live work, before it was up to 12 units per acre. We went 15 to 25, which allows for more garden style apartments. And then regional live work, which is really your main nodes and corridors, we're recommending a 25 to 50 unit per acre density as opposed to the up to 20 unit per acre that was previously recommended. Just to point out a few of the items on the character area map, we have 4 categories. These are really based around economic development opportunities, one being entertainment centers in pink, the agribusiness, which is really supporting that rural agricultural community, is in green. Film studios and filming opportunities, mostly on Fulton Industrial Boulevard. And then riverfront development, with all the efforts along the Chattahoochee River, we wanted to see opportunity to really capitalize on that. So our next steps are to go to council. Oh my goodness, sorry. Going to council on October 17th, the 14th? 17th? It's 14th, right? October 14th, sorry, Miss Reed on that one, where we will request for the comp plan to go to DCA for their approval. They take about a month. We will wait for their comments, and then we will come back in November and ask for your approval to adopt the comprehensive plan and then go to the council on December 9th. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And as stated in the staff report, I will have to open this up for a public hearing. Are there any cards for this item on the staff report currently?
We have no cards against or for, but if anyone in the audience would like to speak for or against, please step to the podium and fill out a card.
Yes.
Once you speak.
Thank you.
Please state whether you're for or against, just so we can catch it on the record.
My name is Michael Venable. Basically, I'm against. This is a massive change for this jurisdiction. And I'm speaking particularly for the southern part of this city. When we talked about North Fulton, South Fulton, the exact same thing exists in North South Fulton and South South Fulton. Mixed use definitely requires an income diversity. When we come back and talk about putting retail on the bottom and residents on top, that only works if you have a substantial residential commitment for that area. I can see now that a business going out of business on the bottom, you're not going to have anything but a struggling community living on top. This density is not addressing sprawl. This was the biggest thing out. When we talked about these designations, which I think are poor, if you talked about they've got Old National listed as a regional live work 20 to 50, that road can't handle that. The traffic is already terrible now, but nothing in this plan addresses improving that traffic. Quality of life and the parks. That area has the worst parks in this entire city. You heard the news on Old National Park, power's not even on. Then you talk about another one that's just smaller and landlocked. We talk about, and you went through this in your training when they talked about how you improve communities. It is not by adding residents, you improve the amenities for that area. You've seen also in your zoning cases, the perception is when you have density, you go small, and every developer thinks small means cheap. And that's the only thing that's coming about in this community. You'll come back and I can see cases on the other side of the city where we're going to put, marble countertops and wood floors, and then the other ones, they don't even have any masonry on the outside of the buildings. It's economics. Old National, in particular, cannot get any valid retail to come because the demographic that they pull up does not support it. And we keep talking about, well, let's go get, our own private, startups and things like that. That's fine if they had the resources. The ones that have come before do not. They have nothing to advertise. There's nothing that you come back and support the community when they come. If I'm going to do this, I need some big box people that have national reputations that'll come back and advertise to get that to work. And again to say, when we talk about density, if I'd had that, the densest area should have the biggest and best amenities. We had a lot of space to improve a massive park on Old National, and that was just given away by the city, and that was terrible. That area should have one. If you're talking about making that dense, you should have had the biggest park in that area. Everyone does. You look at Welcome Mall, should have one for this area. There's none in that area for it, and that causes the destruction. If you clump a lot of people here, it's not working. Remember the case last month? West Road. You had an area with an acre per lot people. So what's going to happen in the middle of that? Well, somebody's got 2 or 3 lots, and they're going to clump a whole bunch of homes in there. You know what the future of that means? When you clump this entire area and designate that as a suburban 2, a house burns down in a lot that's 1 to 3. You change this, oh, okay, I got the 1 house here, I'll stick 4 in the middle of that. You totally destroy the community, and you totally destroy the commitment of the area. This is why this area does not grow. We're not thinking on the right area. We're trying to look cute, and it's not cute. Look at the data when you pull it up, and we talked about affordable housing. This area has total affordable housing all over. We're trying to look at something, well, the future may have it. No one's doing that in another part of the city. Every single time you want to get some apartment or some small town home that doesn't have any amenities, it's always in South Fulton. It's killing us. This whole plan will kill us. Look at my schools. They are struggling. And you know why it is? No fault of their own, but when you have a community that is not income diversity, this is what you have. I just urge you, there's too much stuff going on when I have an area now that had R3, R4s with 3 to 5 units per acre, and now we want to come with 20 to 50. It just doesn't work. We don't have the money to do it. We're struggling now just to get the police and fire because somebody want a better rate. And, you know, to do that, you've got to look at this. The parks, no one has said anything about any of the parks in this area. But we're comfortable putting a whole bunch of homes here without income diversity and thinking that that's cute. And what's going to happen? They're not looking for it. You're trying to come back and get somebody in another area of the ones that they're trying to push out for World Cup, Olympics, whatever, and they clump in one area. And that kills your schools, it kills your retail, it just really messes you up. I totally encourage you to fully reject this plan because it does not help this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any more time on the?
We have 3 minutes and 17 seconds.
Okay. Did you want to speak, sir? Sure. Come on up. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Corbin Young. I'm in the area of District 1, City of South Fulton. I'm kind of pleased with the planned area in the Camp Creek, Kelmerton Road intersection area. That's kind of like my focus. I'm a developer with Archi-Constructors and, have some land over there that, my focus is on the $1 million level. So, I understand, when you, have the so-called affordable housing and things of that nature, but if you have groups that are focused on bringing wealth to City of South Fulton, then that kind of averages out the median and everything. And I think that's the key, is bringing high quality, high dollar projects to the area so that you have an influx of money that's flowing into the area. And now you're going to have higher quality businesses flow in, and that just feeds everything. You know, you look at areas like Buckhead and Brookhaven, you know, those are high quality developments. So the key here is, I know you can't, I guess, discriminate against income, but you have to allow, you know, and allow leeway for top quality projects, you know, projects that are made with stone and brick, you know, paver roads, you know, just, you know, and make sure they stick to that, not just a, you know, a promise, but sticking to those high quality materials and everything. So I'm very pleased with the comprehensive plan in the area of, you know, I haven't really looked at the other areas, but within the area of the Camp Creek, you know, Campbellton Road intersection, you have the Publix, you have the Chipotle, you have the Starbucks. Those three elements, those three businesses are kind of like a platform of quality in any community. You go to Alpharetta, you go to Sandy Springs, you go anywhere. Anytime you have a Publix, a Starbucks, and a Chipotle, that signals quality, you know. So, so like I said, you know, you know, hopefully, you know, the comprehensive plan for the area of the Camp Creek, Campbellton Road, as proposed, you know, on the website and everything, is adopted, and you know, it kind of moves forward, because that will help bring that higher dollar level to the area and everything.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. No one? 35 seconds. Okay.
And Chair, if I may, we did not distinguish the two of the 10 minutes for or against, so if you do want to allow more time, it's up to the commissioners to allow for that.
Okay, thank you. And I think we may need to do that anyways, because we didn't start the hearing for Miss. Yes. We didn't start the clock for her, so I think it would be nice probably just to, I'll run it by the commissioners, but probably allow her to come up since we're in the public hearing still.
So when she spoke, that was more so a presentation, and then this is kind of the public hearing portion of it.
Okay.
So her presentation wasn't timed intentionally.
Okay. So you're saying that we technically don't really need to allow time for her to come up to make a rebuttal statement like we typically do in a public hearing?
I would say yes, because we didn't time her presentation, so we don't
Okay.
have any time to reference. But
Okay.
I will say for the for and against, it is 10 minutes for and 10 minutes against.
Okay.
In this case, we kind of combined it because we didn't have any cards prior.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll make this quick. I'm Penny Webster Lewis, District 2, 6312 Jasper Way. Similar to what the gentleman talked about on the camp, he said Campbellton Road, Camp Creek. I'm more concerned with Campbellton Road, Fulton Industrial, Cascade Palmetto Highway. There's a shift on this new plan to make that one of the higher densities, and without infrastructure improvements, not only traffic-wise, because that part of Campbellton Road, there's a lot of new construction that's already happened. We've got the new apartments. Oh, am I done?
Commissioners, would you like to grant her more time? Or would you like, okay. How much time are we thinking?
I move that we add 2 minutes to the time.
Okay.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. You can continue.
Thank you. We've received a lot of development in that area. When I moved here 6 years ago, there was just the houses, 3 subdivisions right at that area. I live on off of Stonewall Tell, summit of Stonewall Tell. Since that time, there's been a new townhome community that was built at the intersection of Stonewall Tell and Campbellton Road. Not in our district, but close enough on Campbellton Road, the story at Riverside Apartments, right behind them, new townhomes. And now they're talking about making that whole area at the corner of Campbellton Road and Cascade Palmetto, the density, high density apartments. It's too much and the infrastructure can't support it. So we need to rethink this density thing and make sure that we don't run off the people that bought homes here with intention to live a certain lifestyle, because our traffic is becoming horrific and untenable. I don't know if our sewer system can sustain all of this additional capacity, nor can our schools. You know, Stonewall Tell Elementary is a great school. Westlake is a great school. Sandtown Middle is a great school, but all of these young families coming in is going to overwhelm our schools, overwhelm our roads, and change the quality of life for a lot of people. We want development, nice restaurants, and the like, but not at the expense of being able to move about in the city and not oversaturating one district versus another. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would you like to come back up and say anything?
So we're very thankful for all the opinions tonight and throughout the process. This is really, this feedback helps us evolve the plan. What I will say is we were very specific about where we put higher density. We wanted to make sure that it was at the major crossroads, where there was intersection capacity, so we did have our transportation team looking at that, and we wanted to make sure that it was accessible to freeways. Now, I will say, I agree with a lot of what was said. Transportation is a real challenge, right? We can't resolve that in the comp plan. What we do recommend is to move forward with the Transportation Comprehensive Plan, which I believe is underway or starting very soon. So we do think that there are some combined efforts that need to happen. Your Parks and Rec Master Plan is underway, and we've been talking to them. So we have recommendations within this about amenities specifically for Old National Highway and Old National Park, and looking at how can we leverage those areas to really bring the right recommendations in terms of green space, trails, walkability into those areas. So I don't disagree with a lot of the statements. There are some other challenges that have to be addressed. We just can't address them all within this one plan. It's a little more about the land use opportunities. In terms of density on Old National, again, this is your main corridor in your community. It's really the opportunity for density. We did try to look at opportunities within the Old National District where we could allow for different lot sizes. So we did add more suburban 1 land use into the Old National area. The majority of Old National outside of the corridor, and even on the corridor, is built out. And so what we did was we aligned the land use category with the build out. So where we have suburban 2 throughout Old National, those are established legacy neighborhoods. We're not looking to change the character of those at this point in time. So we maintain those. Now, the density along the corridor, we didn't actually change the category, we just increased the opportunity for density there. We see the opportunity for economic growth with more units, more households near that retail that can walk to that retail, that can utilize and spend their money on that retail. As the second gentleman mentioned, it's really about the quality of the development. We have a recommendation for updating the overall zoning code and regulations within our community work program, as well as incorporating design standards. And we think that's going to be really important, especially along Old National, where we can say these are the type of materials, these are the type of amenities that we want to come with any type of multi-use product, so that we don't get low quality products, we get higher quality projects that can bring in the type of retail that's associated with that. So we can't solve all the problems as part of this plan, but we can get a step forward to get to some of those resolutions.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
I'm just curious. It seems like a lot of the changes that you're recommending is changes that came from your group rather than community-driven. A lot of the especially the increase in such a large increase in density in certain areas. I've been on this commission for a long time. I've not heard that from the community, a wish to increase density to these levels. So I'm just curious, how did you formulate these changes?
So there was, what we heard from the community was a lot of desire for mixed use and for higher density in certain areas. So obviously we're very specific about where that higher density is permitted. So I just want to be clear that we're not changing density. Probably 90% of the community, there's no density change. It's really just at these major nodes and cores. So there was a desire for mixed use and for higher quality retail. Now, what we can bring is our economic development expertise in understanding that in order to get that higher quality retail, you need the units and you need high quality units. It's not just about incomes, it's about number of units. That's a huge part of what retailers will look at when they come to an area. So we can advise you all based on our expertise in terms of development standards and how those happen to say, let's look for the opportunity. Now, what we did is we put a range on those because we know that some areas are adjacent to single family and we're not going to want 50 units per acre next to a single family neighborhood necessarily. So we looked at creating a range in all of those so that you could have 25 units per acre in some areas on our regional nodes, or 50 units per acre if that's appropriate. So we're trying not to, I think zoning ultimately will underlay and give that overall regulation, but we want to say overall, we want to see some higher capacity in these areas.
Commissioner Devine, I recognize you.
You finished, Mary? I hear you saying there are some established homes there, established communities. And in the same breath, you're saying that there are some areas or parcels where you can increase density in that particular area. And you reference we wouldn't put X amount of homes near an established neighborhood. But I am concerned that what you're trying to do will eventually trying to compact that area, make develop all the available spaces that's on Old National Place for density purposes. You're going to try to impact those areas. And I don't see how you can get around disturbing the established communities, because no one is going to want a project close to their subdivision or their home where they got multiple dwellings next to their subdivision. And most of the communities in that area are well-established communities. They've been there a long time. So I'm not asking you to share with me all of your areas, but I would like to know, for example, what area you're referencing where you're going to put all of this, these new projects, or one of the projects, because I can't see that. And I understand that everybody wants to develop Old National. It seems to be an area of concern, but we're not developing it based on the needs of the people that's in that area, because I can't imagine that they ask for to impact this area, Old National, like this. And we need to look at why we are not getting those businesses that we want to come to that area. And the last thing we need to look at is equality. We're looking at, I know the gentleman talked about Camp Creek, but I'm concerned about the entire city of South Fulton. I don't want the north end to be extremely different from the south end, even though that can happen. But I don't want it to be that type of divide where we're constantly wanting to put low-income homes or affordable, that word is used a lot, is tossed around, in a particular area, but you put the 600,000 plus in another area. And I don't know why we can't develop the city of South Fulton. So I have some concerns about this plan, and I don't want to see this area saturated, because I am concerned about the parks and the I love to see the development of parks and recreation, but I am very concerned about saturating the area for the sake of density. You know, so, I mean, that's an area of concern.
Gotcha.
Here's a plot of land right here. Let's put, it's 1 acre. Let's see if we can squeeze in 10 homes. Here's a plot of land over here. You know, I'm concerned about how we're going to go about doing this.
Right. And it plays closely with zoning. So I do want to reiterate that we are recommending a zoning rewrite, which can look closer at individual parcels along the whole corridor. The comprehensive plan overall gives you the feel of what you want to happen. So what I had heard throughout the process is that what the community wants is for Old National to be vibrant, to be the place to be in South Fulton and regionally. It has great accessibility, and so the opportunity to really leverage that corridor, and so where all the density is really is on the corridor, right? So we're not imposing a regional live-work category into any neighborhoods. It really is all the parcels facing the corridor. And so the opportunity is for those areas to have the opportunity to build a little more. Now, realistically, the timeline it takes to build one of those projects, we might not see more than 1 or 2 in the next 5 years. In 5 years, we have the opportunity then to look at, which is great about comp plans, right? We can look at this comp plan and say, this is moving too fast, too slow. We want to start to maybe break down all of Old National and figure out where we really want that density. Maybe it's just on the north side near the freeway, or maybe it's, you know, there's a variety of opportunities there. But really what it gets us that opportunity is to say, we want more vibrancy here. We want to encourage growth along this corridor that supports the economic outcomes that we desire, which is higher quality retail and restaurants, higher quality residential opportunities. And this is one way of doing it, is to say we're open for business. This is the corridor we want to encourage that growth on. I don't know if that answers your question fully, though. Okay, thanks.
I know we're talking a lot about Old National right now, and I saw that the participation was really, really low. I mean, for the amount of people that live in the city, 184 people for the public input part of things. I just was curious to know, like, how, since it seems like one of the big focuses is on Old National, I'm assuming that you guys did reach out to people, business owners and things, and you know, people that live on that corridor. But were they a part of like the steering committees? Like, were some of?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And we met with the and excuse me, I can't think of the correct name, but the Business Association on Old National.
Okay.
So we did meet with them during the process. We had meetings on Old National, as well as, I believe there's a pop-up that happened on Old National as well. And the 184 is just people who came to physical meetings. Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty good, to be honest. We do a lot of work throughout the metro area. It's the pop-ups where we get some greater engagement, as well as the opportunities for surveys and online engagement. So combined, we do feel like we got really good engagement from the community here. But yeah, typically we see at a live meeting, which you guys probably see similar, we are usually around 25 to 50 per meeting. That's pretty much an average of the numbers that we get. Now, when we go to District 4, we might have gotten a few less than that because that's more of a rural part of the city, right?
Okay. Commissioner Williams, I recognize you.
Thank you. I have a question in regards to the proposed categories, suburban neighborhood and suburban 2. You have 40 and 30% open space. Now, is that a question or?
So that's our our recommendation is to add more open space requirements for each of those categories.
Okay, because you had a question mark there. That's why I was just trying to figure out what.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, because it's draft phase. we do want to make sure that those are that is agreeable. And a lot of those, the open space requirements are because we want to preserve that more agricultural, that green livability that South Fulton is. And so if we can look at new development, if it's clustered to allow for more amenities and green space, that's what the open space requirements allow or promote.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jones, I recognize you.
What was your strategy for stakeholder, targeting stakeholder engagement, excuse me?
Well, we worked closely with the communications department here at the city and with each of the commissioners, mayor and council members to make sure that we were getting word out through not only social media, but newsletters, events. We did a lot of flyering at buildings like this, parks and rec facilities, libraries, senior centers.
Was there a face strategy for churches?
We did send flyers to the churches, so there was definitely that approach.
Did you all have any meetings at like Enon Church or any of the larger churches?
I don't think we did. Go ahead, Polkett.
Because I agree with the chair that is I mean, I hear what your explanation is, but kind of the spirit of South Fulton, when you say this is going to be your life for the next, some odd years, we would typically see better numbers than that, I would think.
If we had about 7 community meetings spread throughout the city. If you go to page 12 of your printouts, you see the 7 locations where we had all of those meetings. Enon Church wasn't there in this round, but for district...
what page is that, Mr. James?
Page 12.
Yeah, it's not numbered, so let me just count
the
it
one right after
it's
public engagement. Yeah, the next page. Just right after that.
Okay.
So if you see community meetings, so those are the 7 places where we had the community meetings.
Yeah.
And then besides that, we had 3 pop-up events for more engagement with people who could not or would not be able to join the community meetings. The intended target during the pop-up events were younger folks or youth, younger families, people who would go to pop-up events, not necessarily community meetings. The pop-up event included like Chalk the Block, which was mostly young parents, smaller kids, so that was a good engagement. The other one was the Wolf Creek Amphitheater during the Juneteenth celebrations.
Yeah.
And those engagement numbers aren't showing up in the overall numbers because we can't count how many people were engaging. Those pop-ups are usually big numbers, right? Especially the Juneteenth event. That was a huge event.
Okay. Yeah, my concern is going back to what Vice Chair said. 2 things is I just want to make sure that as we engage in this process that we're making sure that we're doing all we can to target the citizens, and as we build out, we're an 8-year city, and the culture of our city is that we want everybody to experience and to grow together, and we want shared community. We don't want to create a Buckhead Bankhead in the city of South Fulton. We want to create a metropolis that allows everyone to grow together regardless of your socioeconomic. That said, we also want to make sure that we target, we're tired of going to Buckhead and Sandy Springs when we certainly can afford what's in Buckhead and Sandy Springs. We want it here.
Commissioner Perry, I recognize you.
I just want to make a closing comment for myself. I understand what your emphasis on density and being open for business and drawing in, but I think the realities speak different. When you go to a community that has, for the buzzword that we've been using today, affordable housing, and you offer more density, you get more affordable housing. And more affordable housing in those areas don't bring the types of businesses that we're looking for. So I think density is a good buzzword, but practicality, it doesn't work in certain areas. And I was hoping that we would come with different solutions to help in those areas. I think Old National has been an area for decades that the community and the surrounding areas have been hoping for something different. Building larger, more dense apartments in those areas is not going to be a solution. It's just going to be more of the same, and frankly, it'll be worse. And building denser apartments in those areas is not going to bring a Whole Foods. It's not going to bring all the different quality things that we want. It's going to be Old National with more apartments. And I'm not saying that to discourage anything that you've done, and I think you guys have done a great job, but I think we need different solutions. And I hate saying that to you because this is your job, and I'm sure you studied this and done a bunch of different research on this, but in these areas, we're 30 or 40 years into the same of the same, right? And just like Mr. Venable said, we're asking now for more dense of the same instead of something different. And so I just hope that we consider, just like the Reverend said, that we got to consider South Fulton a metropolis and there's good all over the city, and there's higher value homes all over the city, and there's higher value businesses all over the city, instead of saying this is going to be our dense corridor and hopefully it will change.
Commissioners, are there any other comments? Okay. Hearing none, the public hearing is closed. So now we can go ahead. There is no staff report for this, so there will be no staff findings of fact, but we can go ahead and move on to approval or denial of the comprehensive plan update. So if I can get a motion for that, that would be great.
I make a motion that we approve the update of the comprehensive plan.
The update, so we're not approving the comprehensive, we're just approving.
Because this is not the actual comp plan. This is just the presentation to go, yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll? Yes, just the update. This is not the final comp plan. This is just her
November is
presentation.
when we will be actually approving it, I believe.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. We good? We good, Crystal? You good? Okay. Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Nay.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So this will be heard at, so I saw in the presentation for Deanna. I saw in the presentation, just as FYI, I saw that the date in there was, it might be incorrect. It said October 17th. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure you had the right date. Okay, not a problem. Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break really quick and reconvene at 7:51, okay? Okay, looks like we're still missing a few commissioners. Looks like we're just waiting on Commissioner Jones. Oh, there he goes. Okay, come on.
Your shirt.
Okay, we have 4 cases to go. And it is 7:59, so let's get it. Okay, looks like we have U25-011. Okay. Oh, okay. You were walking so fast. Looks like the applicant, from what Reggie told us earlier, is that the applicant is going to request a deferral today. Is that still the case?
When did he tell you that?
Today? During the briefing?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a staff report that you want to read for us, or we just want to go ahead?
The record?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
All right, case U25-011, address is 5540 Old National Highway. The applicant is requesting a special use permit to extend the daycare hours to 24 hours. The zoning is C1. This is in City Council District 6, and the applicant is requesting a deferral.
Thank you so much. And is the applicant present today? No? Okay. Okay, so, and we're not going to open a public hearing up, of course, since we're going to have a deferral on this today. So if we can go ahead and make a motion for deferral of this case.
I make a motion as sound.
Second.
Okay. Who made the second?
Either one, take it.
Okay.
Point of clarification?
Sure.
Could we say what deferred date? The next meeting is October 15th.
Okay, sure. So can we restate the initial motion just to clarify the date for if we're doing a 30-day deferral or a 60-day or?
I make a motion that we defer until the October 10th session.
Second.
October 15th.
Correction. I make a motion that we make a deferral to the October 15th session.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. And we will move on to our next case, which is E25-030, 0 Campbell Drive. Staff, can you please read the staff report?
Absolutely. KZ 25-030, the address is 0 Campbellton Drive. The applicant is requesting a rezone from AG1, which is our agricultural district, to M1, which is our light industrial district, to develop a warehouse distribution center. This is in City Council District 3. Staff is recommending approval.
Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing for this case. Is the applicant present?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you so much. And if you can state your name and address for the record.
My name is Steve Rothman, 2849 Paces Ferry Road, Atlanta, Georgia, 30339.
Thank you so much.
This is an application to rezone from AG to M1, the light industrial. And before I get into the proposal, what's really key about this application is the location of the site. And so I'm going to just hold this board up. I think it's easier to see than that. This yellow line shows the boundary of the property, but the red square shows the city limits of City of South Fulton. This parcel is 90% in the city of East Point, and in East Point, it's zoned light industrial. So this agricultural property is isolated, surrounded on 3 sides by industrial property. This is Campbell Drive down here, and there's no access. This is North Commerce Drive, which is in the Camp Creek Business Park on the south side of Camp Creek. And this goes out to Washington Road there. This is an existing warehouse here, and so this property is south of that warehouse. And in reality, the only way to get to this, if you're going on a road and not walking through the woods, is to come off of North Commerce Drive and then come down this driveway and go past this warehouse that's there and then come to this property. So first of all, with regard to the existing AG, it's really not useful for agricultural purposes or a house on 1 unit to the acre. What we're asking to do is to rezone it to something that's similar to everything that's on all 3 sides. I'm representing the owner of the property, and Daniel Hannison is here with me. He's done a great job of reaching out to the community. We had the public participation meeting, but he also met with the district council member before we filed the application. This comes as no surprise to the community. This area here, which is in East Point, is already zoned and required to have an undisturbed buffer there. And so you've got buffering from the neighbors. We met with some of the neighbors. Of course, this warehouse is already here. So they had some concerns about the power going out at their house. They didn't want a data center there. And then their chief concern, which I think this plan addresses, is that they didn't want, if this is going to be a warehouse, they didn't want trucks coming out this way. Well, the reason Campbell Road or Drive was abandoned is because the point of the entire business park is to not have trucks coming south going towards Roosevelt Highway. Campbell Drive, if you keep going, it dead ends into Roosevelt Highway there. All of the trucks would come in here, and also the passenger vehicles would come in here and come to the building that is proposed here. So we are consistent with the comp plan. The future land use map shows this as industrial. And so with that and staff's recommendation, we respectfully ask that you recommend approval of this application. And we're here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any more minutes on the clock? 6 minutes? Okay. Are there any cards?
So we only had 1 card for, no cards against. 1 card was the applicant.
Okay, nice. Okay. Well, it looks like we can go ahead and close the public hearing. And commissioners, did you have any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Williams, I recognize you.
Could you, thank you, can you step back to the podium? Could you advise what is currently on that parcel now, on that site?
Within the red square that I had, nothing. Years ago, 15 years ago, 20, it was a school. But then the school was vacant for a very long time, and people threw trash, and there were tires. And I think it was the city came and demolished. Do you know who demolished? I know that someone tore it down. I don't. It's vacant land right now. There's nothing on it. And it's difficult to find because it's not near any road frontage at all.
Commissioner Price, I recognize you.
Are you asking what warehouse that the truck drivers have to go? Okay. Okay.
Commissioners, are there any other questions for the applicant? Commissioner Jones, I recognize you.
Thank you. The obvious question is, you intend to put a warehouse there?
Yes, sir. This is, and I neglected to bring this up sooner, this is a concept plan. As you can see, the square, let me orient it. That's north going that way. That's the square there. The idea is to put a building there. So the South Fulton portion would have a small portion of the 180,000 square foot building.
And what's to the left? Are those homes? Is that a community right there?
This is a community, yes. And so, and we've met with those folks a lot. And so that's the reason we have and negotiated with them in East Point when we were dealing with the East Point zoning for the buffers and all that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Commissioner Devon, I recognize you.
I'm sorry to ask you to come up again. No problem. You said there's no access other than the one you share with us to that particular parcel of land where you want to put the warehouse.
That's correct.
And you will not open any roads per the community request.
That's correct.
And that,
Sorry, I just wanted to add one more point. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's by ordinance from East Point, sir. I'm sorry. We're prohibited from having any traffic come there, not just by.
Can you speak into the mic?
Yeah, sorry.
It's
Daniel
okay.
Hennison. I was a developer. We're prohibited with our zoning from East Point from having any traffic up Campbell Drive. It's not, it was a community request, but it's written in their ordinance that we can never have traffic come up that right of way.
Any other questions, commissioners? Okay. I don't have an issue with this case personally. In the staff report, they also put in here that East Point is going to be the governing city over the property anyway. So I think it's fair. Plus, the way it's already zoned. I mean, we do know the zoning for that it has currently for East Point for the other for that parcel. Basically, I mean, it just makes sense. Mic on.
I said East Point's always been nice. There's no need for us to stick our foot in the middle of East Point and say no.
Okay. Well, I think we are good here. If there's no other questions, commissioners, we can go ahead and take our first vote, which is going to be on the findings of fact as presented by staff. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to accept staff's findings of facts on Z25-0300 Cabinet Drive.
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Okay, so the motion carries. Next, we're going to take our second vote, which is going to be to approve, deny, or defer the application. Can I get a motion for action on this application?
I move to approve Z25-030.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Price? Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So this case will be heard for final approval at the City Council meeting on October 14th at City Hall. And we will now move into our next case, which is going to be 4865 Campbellton Road. Staff, can you please sound the staff report?
The next case is Z25-031, along with the concurrent variance, CV25-004. The address is 4865 Campbellton Road. The applicant is requesting a rezoning from R3 to R4A to develop 3 single-family residential lots on 1.65 acres. And also the concurrent variance is from section 405.01B2 to eliminate the 100-foot buffer. This is in City Council District 1. Staff is recommending a denial as the applicant has not completed the public participation portion for their case.
Thank you so much. And I believe, as told earlier by Reggie, or as he said earlier, this is going to be an applicant deferral as well. Is the applicant present today? Okay, you can come onto the podium and please state your first and last name and your address for the record.
LaVarian Grundy, 3299 Chaney Court, Powder Springs, Georgia.
Thank you so much. And you were requesting a deferral today?
Yes, we're asking for a deferral. I believe we need 60 days, though, because we're having our public participation meeting October the 13th.
So you would be looking to go to the, will it be heard at the November 19th meeting?
Yes,
okay, got it. Okay, is that all you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. You can take a seat. Okay, Commissioner, so we have a deferral requested by the applicant. Can I go ahead and get a motion for our deferral for Z25-031. There's 2 cases on here, by the way, so we'll do 2 votes.
I move that we defer Z25-031 to the November 19th Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So that carries. And we need to make one more motion for a deferral for CB 25-004. Can I get a motion?
I move that we defer CV 25-004 to the November 19th Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. So both of these cases will be heard at the November 19th Planning Commission meeting. You're welcome. And we are on our last case of the evening, which is going to be TA 25-003. Staff, can you please sound the staff report?
Absolutely. So in 2022, the Georgia legislature changed some of the zoning actions and zoning laws for municipalities. It's known as the zoning procedures law. Since then, there has been some debate and discussion about that and how it impacted the city's ability to what's the word I'm looking for? Not impact, but enforce the ordinance. So since then, they have made changes, and effective July 1st, 2025, they made a series of changes that kind of went back to the way it was before 2022. So the first change was that a public hearing shall be required for all administrative actions. We obviously, since 2022, changed our zoning ordinance. So now we're just going to go back to what it was before 2022. So the first change would be for a public hearing that those administrative variances no longer require a public hearing. They can be handled in-house. The second change is that the public notification, they changed it from 15 days to 30 days, but no more than 45 days. They since have then changed it back to 15 days. So this text amendment will eliminate the 30 days and take it back to 15 days, but no more than 45 days. And then also the public notice that must be sent out. It has to be postmarked 30 days. They since then have changed it back to 15 days, so we have to make that change in our ordinance. And then the last change was, again, for the minor variance and then the administrative variance. It eliminates that the notice shall be 30 days in the paper, so we're going to scratch that out. And then the property owners will still be notified, but it won't have to be advertised in the paper. And then for the administrative variance waiver, there's no longer any written notification required. So these laws are, so this text amendment is just to clean up our zoning ordinance. Again, this has already been approved by the state. We're just looking at it now to change our zoning ordinance back so it can be in compliance with the state.
Thank you so much. And Commissioners, there was no actual real formulated staff report for this, so we can really just take a vote to approve or deny the amendment to the ordinance, pretty much just to bring our ordinance in compliance.
Absolutely. Any questions from me?
Yeah. Do you all have any questions for Matthew? No? Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay. So we can go ahead and take our vote, which is going to be for approval or denial of an ordinance to amend the the South Fulton zoning ordinance to bring it in compliance with the new laws implemented by HB 155.
I move that we approve text amendment 25-003.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Okay, thank you so much. So that concludes our cases for the night. I want to thank everyone who came out and presented, asked questions, and shared comments tonight. Commissioners, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Commissioner Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Jefferson?
Aye.
Commissioner Devon?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Price?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you so much. This meeting is now adjourned at 8:18 p.m.